Awesome, awesome. So welcome to the episode 20 of the TruYou Unfiltered podcast. I'm your host, Kyle, and I'm here to help you grow your business mindset with life and the real unfiltered conversations. Today's episode is filled with building revenue-ready apps, where to start and what's next. And I'm joined with Rupert Samuel from Level Up Marketplace. If you all have Go High Level, you definitely need to know about Level Up Marketplace, where they help businesses grow and double their revenue. And if you've wondered how to make money with apps and where to begin, or maybe even what the future holds, this one's for you. So let's go on ahead and get in. And, before we get into like Level Up Marketplace, man, like what was your progression like before getting into Level Up Marketplace?
What was I doing before high level and level up marketplace? Is what you're
Yes.
asking. Yeah. So I used to do a lot of retail operations, honestly. So
Really? Okay. So
I
just
have a lot
changing it
of
up.
retail shops,
Okay.
and used to do a lot of import and export of the products. We used to do our own design of things like leather handbags, for example, from Italy, and scarves from China and things of this nature. So it kind of gave idea to the product development scope kind of situation you might refer to as, like, where you might making a digital product versus maybe a physical product. And I was predominantly around import, export, wholesale, retail situation. We had about maybe 20 stores around the southwest, and kind of like where it all
So is that
started, I
like
guess. And then just moved
where
into
you kind of,
digital, just based around us starting in ecom, really.
so like I look at like, just company mapping and like software, and is that kind of like where you would say where you kind of got like basically putting things together? Because like when you're coding or maybe developing just a new piece of software, for us, what we do with one of our companies, we had to create a whole company map, and then we were able to build automations around that. And I could totally see, you working in retail and how that skill kind of came to be. Would you say that's kind of where it started
Yeah,
building
well, I
up into
mean,
software?
the way that we want to develop our products, and also how we develop our products, whether it be a physical product like a scarf or something, is based around customer feedback, and it's the same scenario ultimately around software in some sense. But just also having that exposure to multiple different retail fronts, and also wholesale, and the hierarchy of distribution logistics, also gives us a key insight and sense on how we can make the same scenarios happen, but with high level, the rebilling, the reselling, the white labeling, in a conversation of maybe distributor, wholesale, manufacturer, supplier, certain words for certain areas down the food chain, and per se, all the way down to the consumer at the end. All of that alongside with what high level is in its hierarchy gives us a very good, I don't know, gives us a good way of being able to make sure that we get the right product delivered to the agencies who are going to be able to generate revenue from apps, essentially.
Yeah, no, what I'm understanding too is just like you have a solid feedback loop with us high level users to know what products to build. It's like we're kind of basically telling you during that time.
Well, it's what you want to resell. It's what you want to be able to make money from. It's what you want to, if you want, back end operations, front end, big, large integrations, things of all this kind of nature. It's when you come to a developer or a developer partner like we are with High Level, you want to look at it as this is something that you're going to invest into more than it's something that is a upright cost, because with everything that's given to you from the developer side, it is something that you should be able to rebuild and or resell and generate profit from the implementation of that, and or have global access to it at a certain price. So yeah.
I have so many questions for you, man. I'm just trying to it's crazy. So just trying to keep things on track, because I think about the SaaSpreneur, especially with like even myself and the people I know. Like you have a lot of people in my space that are doing done for you marketing, but they're starting to kind of see the power of software. And you know, obviously with AI coming into play and people building communities and the growth and self development as a result of that, it's like, you know, AI will probably won't really necessarily replace that. But when I think about like self development and helping people become successful in the SaaSpreneur world, the things that we battle the most has been activation and customer success. And so, when you are starting out with creating a software, where would you typically start personally? And then, you know, kind of to go into that a little bit, when you were creating your first software, what did you start? What did that look like? Loaded question. Take it for what you will.
But what was the first thing well, the first major thing I was involved with was a coupon and loyalty software. And again, that just came back to the retail conversation I said earlier, because there's that little disconnect a lot of the time from offline and online. So we were trying to bridge the gap as a solution. Ultimately, also, a lot of the software is all problem solution situation, right? You face a problem, you pay for the software, it solves it. But we were trying to bridge, the gap between more engagement in social media and also direct engagement alongside with retention as part of the campaigns situation, also general opt-ins through the coupon scenario. And yeah, we still carry softwares like that today as part of the things that we develop for high level. But yeah, that was most probably the first one that I got involved into.
Right, right. So, and it was just because you all had just a problem with what, like when you all created that couponing software. Again, what was like the main problem you were solving? Because you were talking about how like when you pay for a software, right? It's
That's
like
just
you're
the
all
general opt-ins. Like, there's like the problem was that, I physically can give this piece of paper and the person walks away and you don't know anything about them and you can't communicate with them. Can something digital bridge that gap and solve that problem? The opting in for a coupon, you obviously can register your email or something of that nature, but then once they walk away, you've got that email con, but is there something else you can do? So that's when we went in with wallet technology. And, you can embed a coupon into their wallet, which then gave you capabilities of geo notifications and push notifications to be able to connect with that customer again, and to build urgency for them to come and use the coupon, put them into a loyalty, spin them around, and ultimately go from there. But I mean, it suited the audience that we also knew, and it had a USP as the product build of the couponing software, of wallet technology, and we're talking nearly 10 years ago or something. Yeah, that was the first software, and I mean, ultimately, like I said, it solved a handful of different problems. The product itself had a USP of the wallet technology conversation,
that's
and
what sticks out to me the most, right there. That
yeah,
wallet technology and push notifications. Everyone's sending text and emails out, like the push notifications. That's
yeah,
great.
it's just another
I
way
like
of
that.
communicating with them. It's limited to another conversation, but there are lots of opportunity inside of it as well. If you just do it right, it's not that complicated, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, see a need, fill a need, right?
Basically, yeah. But I mean, with high level, we have the same kind of capabilities. It's just when you're talking about high level, you're talking about the logistics and distribution of apps. So, you can look at us developers as suppliers or manufacturers if you wanted to, and you can look at yourselves as an agency, as a wholesaler or distributor. And, the sub account level is, depending on the app, the consumer or a retailer, because the app will give benefit to the contact level, basically. So, everything's rebillable, resellable, and that's the kind of market of what High Level gives you with their marketplace. And you can trust it because everything's been verified by Go High Level as an app that should be there on the marketplace. And they want to bring you the capability as an agency to be a wholesaler or a distributor of these solutions. And a lot of them are free to access, and they are based around more usage models, such as where you might look at things like Zapier as just a business model where you can access it
That's a
for
great
free
connection.
for a certain amount. And from there, the more you use it, the more we're going to charge you. And as an agency, there are many applications that you can install for free that can give you more rebillable opportunities in your agency, which is where you can start to look at doubling your revenue overall. Because, there are stories I can tell you where there is someone I met very recently in the Sydney SaaSpreneur event where she has one sub account, but on that one sub account, she's billing out 4 figures a month because of the rebilling. She's doing, $1,000 a month between SMS, email, premium actions and triggers, and some other things. And, she's using 3 or 4 apps to do that. And that's just increasing her bottom line, because it's not a conversation of Zapier, NA10, Make, Pabbly, any of these other softwares that we're talking about, that particular branch, are cheaper. It's about the conversation as a wholesaler or distributor. Are we leaving money off the table by not implementing this product as part of our suite of products that we sell and distribute to our sub accounts in a format? So, it's the high level scenario is one of that to make money versus, a lot of the other softwares are very singular or affiliate marketed or scenarios of that nature.
Or like a
And
monthly
as SaaS
subscription.
providers,
I like that though, because like from my perspective, I mean, obviously it's like, we had to hit a certain revenue point or get a customer to use some of these softwares, and it's like you're already paying for the high level subscription now, and then as tools as you need come, you can use it's rebilling. The whole thing of rebilling is great,
yeah.
because I mean, obviously there's the obvious usage behind it, and so that's kind of like where we're kind of getting into like making money with apps. So you're able to rebill like with sub accounts, and so basically, guys, like whoever's like listening here, it's like our companies, we have a series of helping out maybe a specific niche with a specific problem. In my case, it's always been lead generation for the past 10 years, and the problem nowadays is like a lot of these agents, people are paying expensive agency fees to have them run like ads and things of that nature. And nowadays, we're able to now build our own software to where these people, the user, can actually generate their own leads at wholesale cost, and where we're able to rebill or potentially make extra cash on can be like our text messages that they send out using the system, or it's them launching
It's
XYZ
even
amount of
getting
ads.
access to a lead gen software. Like if you wanted to go ahead and query some databases for lead generation, there's plenty of apps on the marketplace where you can download them for free, and then the amount of leads that you're generating from there, it will charge you if you're an agency looking for your own leads. But I mean, ultimately, if you were then putting that onto a client account,
Mm.
you could add an extra penny on for every single lead. So if they were to download, 10,000 leads, that'll be $100 profit just for you for them doing it. And you're just distributing the software as an additional and giving the right additional tools that high level doesn't have, not because sometimes they might not want to, but maybe, they've got other things that they're doing. And there are developers out there who have made numerous solutions for every problem that you can most probably come across on high level now after a year and a half of the marketplace being there. And the mindset of all of them is white label, rebill, resell to the people at the top who are the agencies. So agencies can look into there with the idea of investing into their agency more than looking at it as a purchase situation.
Yeah, I think about growth in that perspective too, because like when you get into like growing a SaaS company, it's like there's like a few reasons why people don't grow, right? It's like it could be like the unit economics, it could be them not investing enough into the customer experience or onboarding, and there's a whole bunch of different things that go into like actually growing something like that successfully. And so like I could totally see like there's just different pieces of software that's going to help out with that. Do you guys have something like Freshdesk for software for like level up marketing and like Freshdesk and like
Cloud
Go CSM? That's something we've been looking into just for that process. Just disconnected for a second. Oh, but I do have internet connection. There we go, brother. I've got put on my hotspot. We're good. There we go. Good to go. Can you hear me okay? Mm-mm-mm. Dude. All right, we're back. Are we back? We're good?
I think we're back.
God bless America, man. We gotta look into that and see what's going on. If it disconnects, again, just bear with me on that. What I was asking is like with the level up marketplace, you know, what are you seeing for the future? Not just the future, but like really along the lines of like retention and activation. So like Go High Level uses like Freshdesk, I think, for like support tickets, and like there's a software called like Go CSM to help out with like retention on a software side of things. What other softwares are you seeing like right now that are kind of like up to par with that, or maybe internal? I'm seeing a lot of my friends use software and they'll create like a support ticketing system within High Level in a certain sub account, but I could definitely see how that could get messy at scale.
Sure. So there's different types of CSM software. You say Go CSM, you talk about Tim Sabir, right?
Let me just type it in real fast.
That's all right. Like if it's the high level one, as you say, like they're a partner of ours. We help with their development and their application
Yeah.
situation and
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
Lots of our partner situation there. So I mean, we would highly recommend that you have a look at Go CSM. Yeah, like things like ticket situations. We have a ticket scenario inside of our All the Apps Agency version. We have two apps called All the Apps. Okay, one called All the Apps Agency and one called All the Apps Accounts. Okay, but our whole ticketing system is based around, again, a Go High Level sub account. We receive the tickets through our portals, which are distributed, and we have a custom solution for our own web chat ticketing situation, which again is something that you can use yourself for what we distribute in our app called All the Apps Agency. So yeah, I mean, apart from that, I mean, it just comes down to what are people putting up onto our wish list and doing what people want, really, more than anything else. And looking for spaces in the market on what kind of apps can you resell. Like we've just started a new type. I think it's going to be called Sales Channel.
Oh, right
Like
on.
Shopify has this kind of scenario for the e-com space where, for example, there's a platform called Vinted or eBay, and the products that you create on Go High Level and or the products you create maybe in Vinted could be products that are in your Go High Level, and you can do purchases and sales and distribution from either or at the same time. So there's lots of space and lots of new apps to come out.
I just see this
So
new wave of SaaSpreneur coming in. Like obviously, like the past like few years, SaaS is like with Go High Level has been a thing, and like all of the marketers are turning into like SaaSpreneurs basically. And I just think knowing what I know now, and like after my company got acquired, I was just like the thing that people battle with the most is like activation and client success. If you can get people activated and addicted to your stuff and also see them become
Well,
successful.
the thing is, for us, it's not so much an activation of sorts with High Level, because if you're looking at agencies, as the people who distribute the apps, we're looking at people that want to invest into providing these solutions to the clients that they already have and or clients that they want to go and get, because applications are going to give you a USP inside of your agency, which again is going to give you more capabilities to acquire more clients, because as soon as you activate applications, because you can now include apps into your SaaS purchase, your SaaS configuration. So when somebody purchases from that SaaS configuration, it will come with these apps included, you know?
Yes.
So you can give more configurations, the more types of users or clients you're going to start targeting. But again, they're going to stick with you because you're going to include most probably other third-party tools that they're already utilizing. And instead of maybe the conversation of the integration being a difficulty, it's already been handled with an app and or a software that essentially replicates and does the same thing but is now natively a part of high level. Is just going to give you more capabilities to close more clients as an agency. When it first comes to for a developer to acquire that, we're just looking at providing the solutions that other agencies want to provide and have the opportunity to provide the all-in-one scenario based around that type of niche of client potentially.
Yeah. No, I love that. So when someone's coming to you to invest into like their systems and processes, right, for new apps, like what are you finding is like the best case scenario when someone's coming to you? Is it more like, hey, I just have this problem, how can you fix it? Or like what's your all's
Yeah.
process look like? I can share
No,
my screen, or if
honestly,
you want to share your screen.
like either people know what you can do per se, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's always just like, here is my problem. Here's how I think that it should be solved. And from there, we do the best of what we can do. Obviously, sometimes there are limitations at play, but yeah, anybody who's really, the thing is, as well as an agency, when you come and give these problems to people like us on the developer partners or developers for the high level scenario, and especially if they've got their app game done properly, that's also another thing of it.
Ooh, talk to me about
Like
that in a
when you're
second.
coming with these problems,
Yeah.
you know, the developer should want to be able to do them because the more you end up using that app, the more revenue they also have to generate ultimately. And sometimes agencies want things on a unlimited access, which you can do, but there will be always rebillables inside of apps, I think. And apps are taking a bit of a change because more features are being made available to apps. The marketplace is going to look very, very good in this next month. By the end of June, there's a lot of cool updates happening in the marketplace. And I think agencies are going to really like the direction of everything that's going to be coming to it. But
Is there anything you can say now? Any
the
spoilers?
mindset of how agencies should come to the marketplace is: I have a problem. I'm going to be able to invest into somebody to get me a solution, and that person who's going to be able to make it is going to be able to earn revenue with its usage, but also they're going to be able to give it to other agencies. So, it invests into the developer community to provide a stronger solution for all versus one.
Got it. No, so like if someone, let's say Rupert, I want this app built within my system, and you're saying that like if they come in with an app within the marketplace, they also can make money with you after investing with you to build it. Is that what I'm
Yeah, so
understanding?
inside of their agency, they start distributing that app to their sub accounts. They have
Sure,
100 sub
sure.
accounts, for example,
Yeah.
and all those clients that they acquire is all going to give them money back, money in return for them utilizing the app. So if you have an app that that your sub accounts are going to use, your in either usage models or rebillable models or resellable models, then developers are going to want to create it. You can then distribute it, make your revenue, and the developer can then also distribute it to other agencies.
Got it. Got it. And does like the person that gave like I'm gonna leave with the word idea, but like they came in with a problem, they wanted this solved. Does the person who invests into the app also do they have an opportunity to make money at through that distribution with the developer?
If they want to pay for the development and have their own developers on board to go ahead and do that, they can if they want to start a development firm. But it's just part of that conversation, I would say, of like, you're an agency trying to distribute sub accounts and be a SaaSpreneur in this format. And they're different landscapes completely in the conversation of what you've got to do and provide as a app distributor
Mm-hmm.
versus the sub account seller.
Yeah.
And you look at the high level in the conversation of how I was talking earlier in retail, where you've got manufacturing, import, you've then got wholesale and distribution, and then you've either got retail or consumer. as an agency, you're in that position where you want to sell sub accounts and you want this technology to help you sell those sub accounts.
Yeah,
If you want it built, in-house with your own developers, then you can keep it for your own agency. But again,
sure.
you're then not looking to sell it to other agencies. You
It's like we
understand?
resell sub accounts, and you're able to resell apps.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the different people in the marketplace of high level, or the ecosystem you could refer to. And I mean, I just come at it looking at it from this perspective. I do. Some agencies want to start up being app providers, which by all means, like, I'm not trying to say people can't do both things. You understand what I mean? But
Yeah, no, I mean, I
we,
can
we
see
have a
like,
very
yeah,
level up marketplace. We are, and we put that towards everybody on the agency level. That you can most probably find some scenarios where there are some shared profit situations, but ultimately the developer is distributing to agencies, and other agencies have other requirements, and you can put it all into the one app, and it makes it better for
I kind of
all
like
for
that though.
everybody as well.
I kind of like that though from the perspective of maybe someone's skill set isn't direct to revenue, like in the sales and marketing world, like the sales and marketers, like the salespeople are making typically a lot of the commissions and like money up per month, like they can make them be paid the most. Marketers are like typically right behind that, and the people who are selling and marketing the thing, the person who built the thing, they either get like compensation structures to where if their stuff is done on time, or if they hit a certain deadline, and then that's all I'm really seeing on that perspective. Someone who builds like automations and workflows. Typically, that
Yeah,
person has
that's
some
the
type of
thing. So
developing
there's a
understanding.
space that it's an interesting thing where I think you're going here with this is that if you're somebody in high level talking about the different people and the different ecosystem players, you could say, or something of this nature,
Mhm.
but there is a position for the people who build scenarios. So we build tools and additional bits of software, but still with that, you've still got to build out a scenario / a snapshot if you're going to talk about this kind of scenario. And
Mhm.
snapshots can be sold through the marketplace, and is a great scenario where tool providers like ourselves, you could
Mhm.
say, can work with snapshot providers because they can utilize our tools within inside of their snapshot. And from there, when they distribute their snapshot, they just have to tell people, oh, you also need to have this app alongside of it. Okay. And with that, everybody's winning because everyone's kind of cross promoting and cross selling and providing the solution and the tool all in one. Like we can build snapshots and things, and do the same stuff. But I firmly sit on the chair of we build tools, not so much we build snapshots. And there are plenty of other people that want to develop, a no code scenario, you might want to refer to it as in some format of a snapshot situation of that nature, because even on snapshots there's a special scenario for snapshots where in high level you can sell snapshots to the sub account level through the agency. So the agency agrees to buy the snapshot from you for each sub account for $5, and now the agency has a direct way to say, I'm going to resell this for $25, and they straight away can start making that $20 per sub account they sell it to, you know. So yeah, there's a space for everybody in marketplace, and a way for what you're making in marketplace to be able to be invested into versus thought of purchased, in a sense. And I feel like that's just where I think agencies want to think about. They want to invest into their agency. They want to sell more sub accounts. There are more USPs that you can get from the marketplace, and in those USPs, there are revenue generating options in every single one of them.
And just for like the audience, and maybe even for myself, USP. What does that stand for?
Unique selling point.
Unique selling point. Okay, right on. I
So
love that. Yes.
like my software is the only software with this, mixture of ultimately this snapshot we built alongside these additional tools. Nothing else compares. It's your unique selling point of going, like, when you get on with us, sometimes people give you 100-day money back guarantee, and they're trying to make that their USP, but it's just your unique situation that you believe puts you uniquely placed in the market, and why someone's going to have that one thing that only you can provide.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's kind of like that's basically like what I'm seeing with us right now. Like our unique selling point for like our SaaS right now is that right now there was a huge shift in media buying for local businesses where the fee is keeping them from growing from a local business standpoint. And now with software, it's like you plug in the ads at work, you plug in there, and then they're able to, sure enough, plug and play and generate leads just like that. I will say the only thing that we're dealing with, and maybe this gives you an idea, is like how can you make the integration of, like, let's say the Facebook pixel and tracking events faster and easier for someone who does not know anything about Facebook,
I mean,
because you have to put the code into high level. It could be like an app of some sort. I'm just jamming out with you, man,
I
on
mean,
this.
I like that particular one. That particular one there is something I think high level should really look at in doing.
Yeah.
There are limitations on what we could do for that, but I mean, it would be a long stretch app. I'll be honest with you. If we're talking about app builds,
Yeah.
it's not something that I would say that's impossible, but it is something that I would say would take time to achieve on that kind of thing, and it's something that would only expect or hope that high level would honestly do directly themselves anyway.
Yeah, because like at this point, you can just integrate your pages in your ad account, but like you have to build funnels and all these things, and then track everything. It's like, well, why can't you just like get the code as well, and just it just sends it to you or something, and you just paste it where you need to paste it, and then it can. I mean, the event setup tool in Facebook is great, but you still have to log into Facebook. Anyways, that was just an idea for you. Maybe take back to the team and keep me posted on. That'd be a great one to look at for sure, without a doubt. I had Sean on our episode a couple episodes back, and we talked about like, just the shift in, you know, obviously the lead generation spot too, but also where he started go high level and all the stepping stones from that point, and you know how a lot of times us marketers, like that was like the first group he helped during that time. Do you get a lot of people like me like coming to you guys for help on like apps, or who's
Yeah,
your
all the time.
people?
Like literally, my calendar's just constantly full of people wanting to get more solutions. That we try and provide as many as possible. Like we've done about 600 different applications now,
Yeah, you've
and
done one or two, that's for sure.
yeah. So we just listen to the community, listen to what people want, try and make sure that it's in the best direction of how you can generate revenue from it. Like that is our whole core situation, that we want to be your supplier for all the add-ons and all that kind of situation. And yeah, every day high level's always making new stuff, and sometimes we can integrate with it, and there's always ways that you'd want to maybe change that as an agency. So we're always just looking for new opportunities with what high level also brings to the board, you know. So with that, I mean, people like working with us. I mean, when high level does bring those new things, sometimes people want to restrict some of it. So
Yeah.
we're pretty fast to the table on anything new that comes out to then have it removed or managed better.
I could totally see that. Do you so when you talked, you said this a couple of times, you're always listening to like, what the community wants or needs. Like what are you seeing? I mean, obviously there's some updates coming, but is there anything sticking out that you could potentially share of like what's kind of, are you seeing any trends or patterns from what people
Well,
are
I mean, in what sense? Like for the marketplace or for agencies?
I would say both, because I want to like I'm just interested in that.
Well, for the marketplace, there's more types of apps being made available. So you've got things like VAs. So like think the marketplace for Fiverr now, not just like tools and all the things that we've done as developers.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The marketplace will go down the direction of courses and communities. So in that conversation, you're thinking of a course that a GHL agency could access through the marketplace, but also maybe there's a course on teaching restaurants how to be better restaurants or whatever. I don't know, but you could resell that course to your clients if you deal in the restaurant niche, just as an example. Same thing with communities, basically. And there's also AI apps that'll be coming to the marketplace. So kind of like how you build a snapshot, but this time with how you can build an AI inside of high level on the sub account level. What you build on the sub account level, you will be able to sell on the marketplace, so that agencies don't have to think about how to set up an account, which is the whole thing. Coming back to what I was saying earlier, with agencies want to know what's happening on marketplace because there are new solutions that make their selling process simpler. AI apps is a prime example that you all want to sell AI and you all want different agents and you all want it already pre-made and everything else. AI apps are going to be on the marketplace, built again by the same people that build things like snapshots.
Yeah,
And again, they're going to have apps, the technology tool providers like us also alongside with those applications. Um, and, it's just
that's sick.
like where you looked at it from an agency standpoint, it's just more revenue opportunities, AI, rebilling, put on steroids now is the conversation if you want to about that subject.
Of course, I'm
And
open.
snapshots we've already obviously mentioned, and more things for you to sell, like I said, with the courses, the communities, and VA services. Like imagine on the agency level you can hire a VA, have them then distribute their menu, you could say, to the sub account, to your sub accounts, where you vetted that this guy or girl is going to make websites at $200 per website, and that at the agency level you're receiving $100 for each time that they get to work with your clients. So yeah, there's a lot of other more opportunities for the marketplace, and it just brings more opportunities for the agencies to have faster, cleaner sales, faster, cleaner onboarding, faster, cleaner acquisition. And inside of that, a cross-sell, upsell model that is based around scale and growth of you and your investment as an agency to your clients, because the higher contact list that they get, the more opportunities and revenue you're going to have to be able to make from those clients of yours growing, so
Yeah,
it's
because
a
that
great
helps.
ecosystem,
I like
and
that
it
too.
involves a handful of people.
Well, I was thinking about like I'm in this program right now about just SaaS growth, and like I think about expansion revenue. Like, a lot of times when we add something new, it's like it makes the business more complicated. And what I like about this is like you can invent expansion capital. Almost is like the best way to kind of put it. But you said something earlier that I didn't get to touch on. It was talking about having your right. I think you said app build process or app mapping. I'm trying to remember the exact term you used. We were just discussing, hey, when we come to you about um, a certain solution and working with you, you're like, well, if this person has if they have their app stack right, maybe that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Is that recalling to you right now?
I think so. I'm not sure, but carry
I'm
on.
just thinking about what would make someone's app stack right. Is there a cool framework? Anything you could share with the community from a general standpoint? Because there's so many
I mean,
solutions out there. I get it.
the app stack, or what you're referring to, I think there, there are many different providers for some of the same things on Marketplace, and that gives you more choice and variety of who you'd like to work with. Being the fact you're looking at Marketplace means that you know that the people who are on Marketplace have been vetted and trusted and, checked that they should be on Marketplace.
Hmm.
Okay. So, you're going to, as an agency, test the application just like you would with high level. And it's not going to cost you a lot because, like I said, a lot of them are free and they're made for around usage. Okay. But some of them are subscriptional based. And again, it is just one of those scenarios of going, okay, well, do I want to focus as an agency on growth and acquisition of my sub accounts so that I can make more rebillables and also monthly recurrings from my subscriptions? Sure. Do I want to focus at all on the snapshot build, additional technologies, or any of the management of the sub account? And honestly, all of those are handled in the marketplace for you. So that high level and the marketplace give you, as the agency, the best position to be literally on your A game for acquisition and retention of your clients, and also the growth, most probably based around the fact that you would want them to grow because it would mean more rebillables for you. You know,
Yes. Yes.
a lot of agencies, obviously, they get to a certain point in their growth and it gets a little harder. And you have those milestones of like, do I bring on more staff? Do I bring on more VAs? Do I put more systems in place? And again, as you grow, so will your billings and rebillables with the developer and maybe subscriptions, and it all works with scale. And that's the thing, I think, to not get so worried about of some of the agencies I talk to. Sometimes they barely started and they're thinking of being a 100 unit GHL account, and
Just focus on the one problem first, and they kind of get ahead of
yeah,
themselves,
like
overwhelm themselves. I can definitely see
let's
that.
just kind of like see what happens with you getting 10 of these types of clients. Obviously have some essential support and knowledge and all that kind of stuff distributed, and make sure you have at least your onboard game on. But you can obviously start working with firms that can manage some of these services for you. But I would always say just look at the marketplace to see where you're going to get those services from.
I love that. So, and just to kind of like sum it up with like Level Up Marketplace too, you all have multiple apps. You can help people make custom apps for high level, and a lot didn't you tell me like a lot of the marketplace that's in high levels like built, I won't say built all by you, but I mean you guys have definitely tested a lot of the things that are inside of high level, to say the
We
least.
we've changed around a bit of our app game. We've got some new stuff we're launching the next 30 days, but we have at the moment four main apps that I would tell people about. Okay, and one of them is All the Apps Agency, where you get all of our agency tools. It's something that's going to help you as an agency grow, support, onboard, engage with your users. Okay, and from there, we've got the All the Apps app. That All the Apps is one made only for the sub account benefit.
Just
So
this one right here.
it'll give you 1,000 actions, for example, inside of the workflow builder. It'll give you a load of triggers. It's going to give you a load of widgets. It's going to give you all of the web interfaces and tools that you can add into your sub account level. We then have the app creator, and that's for people who actually want to get themselves onto the marketplace. They want to sell to go high level agencies, and you want to be able to create apps, that sell and can do certain things. That is what that app is going to do for you. After that, we have our NFC store application, which is an entirely different conversation we won't get into today, honestly.
You're fine. There we go. There we go. You're talking about app creation, app creator, and all that stuff. I just wanted to be sure that there was some context to it as well. So, just while I'm here, man, like I was telling you, I was talking about like being in a program and helping people grow their SaaS and stuff like that. And what we have found out is like when people get stuck around, so we're like at 3 million, 4 million in annual recurring revenue with one of our companies, and these are the 5 reasons why people don't grow. What apps, aside from unit economics and sales and marketing, I really, when I'm talking to you, honestly, I think about these 3 things the most of what the level up marketplace could have. When you see people don't investing into their customer onboarding, you said get your onboarding on, or like your product UX experience. What's something I could go into like the level up marketplace, and what's the first thing you think of?
Sorry, when you're talking about the onboarding of the level up marketplace.
I was just saying, like, so let's say I'm a SaaS entrepreneur, right? I'm going to level up marketplace, right? There's a whole bunch of cool things that I can grab from
Yep.
it. Within these apps, is there a specific one that you think of that's been really helping people out with building out their product or their onboarding?
That would be All the Apps Agency. That would be that particular app. That would be the one that would be focused around that kind of situation. It's an app
Nice.
that is made to just do all of the agency things and give all the agency benefit to the agency. Okay. The
Okay.
All the Apps app for sub account level is the app that will help you for the sub account, where you can make a lot more rebillables from your clients and give your clients benefit. This is giving agency benefit solely, basically.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that for me. Yeah, because like I was like, okay, what does that mean with the marketplace and like these things? These like Rupert, this is gonna be a great like segue into people
So
going into the level marketplace because like what we're
yeah, sure. So I mean,
yeah.
like the third one, they don't invest in their UI UX customer onboarding. That would be the level All the Apps Agency app. the same thing for they don't invest properly into their customer success. That, you can look at things like GoCSM, and again a bit of the agency app that we have. And they don't invest enough into upselling, cross-selling. That is literally all the apps. Okay. And if you wanted to invest into more upsell, cross-selling, and USP, you would look at the NFC store.
Wait, slow down for me again. What was NFC store?
Yeah, that's something new coming out. We won't
For
share that one.
cross-selling and upselling, you're saying?
It's cross-selling, upselling. It's also just USP situation.
Right.
But the NFC store is something that's very new. I was only just recently in China. I think that was maybe a week or something after we first
Look at
initially
him.
spoke.
There it is.
But yeah,
Okay.
this is a bit of a first tester of what this was.
Well, this is cool though. I mean, I know I follow you. This is great, man. Because this like looking at this helps me connect the dots even further with like going into your level up marketplace too. Because like we got our unit economics down. We found out we can afford the buyback ratio of 4 months, 6 months buyback ratio. Market heavily in the beginning, acquire customers, become profitable in the third and fourth quarter. But we're also always going after how can we, get our churn
I
down.
mean,
And
in that
so,
conversation, if they don't invest enough in sales and marketing, I mean, again, I would say most probably the all the apps agency app,
yeah,
because we have some ways for you to be able to get leads from that application. You know,
yes,
so yeah, if you're trying to, I mean, at the end of the day, I just want people to realize that go to the marketplace. There are all the best tools available in the marketplace overall. If you're looking for any problem you have on high level, it is a massive solutions library that, if it's something you're going to distribute to your sub account level, will be rebillable, resellable. And if you're talking just the agency level and you as an agency player in the marketplace, there are loads of apps as well that give you things like onboarding checklists, video, white label videos, knowledge bases, change logs, all sorts of things. Okay.
yes, this is great, man. So, how did you and Sean get connected? And oh my gosh, I forgot the other co-founder's name. But how did you guys get?
Varun and Robin.
Yes.
Well, I got started with Sean maybe 5 years ago or something, I think now it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was in the first year of High Level being created. Um, Long story short, we'd made a lot of apps for some other platforms. He'd heard about it. We'd asked him about what does it look like for High Level going for the future. The marketplace has always been on their roadmap of something they're going to do. So he told us 5 years ago. And the whole way that it was proposed and everything, we waited around for it. He was interested, obviously, why and how we did all these apps for the other marketplaces. And yeah, we just waited for the marketplace to come to light. When it did, we've had a few more conversations, but it's been one of those of just kind of like seeing how people can. It's our conversation. This is the thing that agencies want to appreciate. The conversations aren't around how can developers make revenue from marketplace. The conversation is how can agencies make revenue from marketplace. So
Makes sense.
when we're having that
Yes.
conversation, it's like, our profit or our revenue as a developer is a byproduct of how agencies can make revenue from what we deliver.
Yeah, there's always that saying: if you help a lot of people out, you're gonna get what you want later on.
Sure.
Help out enough people,
So,
and you'll win too.
because that's just what high level is, though. It's a resell or redistributor white label situation, and the marketplace shouldn't be any different. So, yeah, my first introduction was just based around, we want our stuff integrated. How can we do that? Then it was one of discovery around marketplace conversations in the very, very, very early days. And now it's more based around the conversations of today's marketplace on high level.
Yeah, no, I guarantee it. Because then so one of the first people that quote unquote like you guys helped, right? Like people like me, I immediately think about Rob Bailey, and Rob Bailey, like, I started in the same niche. He was helping out gyms with their marketing and stuff like that. Primarily because I just do MMA outside of like this business stuff. I'm able to connect just the dots through that. And we used to have like different gyms that we used to help, and so did Rob. But Rob really helped out with the 9 rounds. Did you ever get to work with Rob?
I was speaking to him at the SaaSpreneur Sydney event, and funny enough, on our conversation, I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth,
It's okay.
but we're meant to be putting his community, I think, onto the marketplace, so people in Go High Level can go and gain access to that via the marketplace soon. So, I mean, Rob's looking forward to putting himself into the marketplace, and he likes the idea of how you can earn more revenue from the rebilling. In fact, he was very interested, on the conversation around how you can be more like Zapier in Go High Level, with the workflow actions and the integrations and automations conversation.
Yeah, no, that 1,000% makes sense too. Because I mean, it's just nice to stay in one platform. That's just it. If you
Yeah.
have it centralized, you're not having to like go crazy. And obviously, that's what the foundations were built on, right? Like I remember first starting having to have ClickFunnels and ActiveCampaign and Mailchimp and this and that and this and this and that. So going to just
Yeah, the high level shouldn't be any different. Like as soon as you kind of catch yourself like Googling another software,
go to Level Up Marketplace. There it is.
and I'm not saying go to Level Up Marketplace, go to the app marketplace from Go High Level.
Yeah.
Like all our solutions are in there, and hundreds of others, and it is just that way that any extra, any need, any some of them are a bit obscure, maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that now with over 1,000 apps on the marketplace, agencies are going to find all of their solutions, and if not, there are more developers being more intrigued and more incentivized to put apps on the marketplace.
I'm telling
So
you, man, that app.
instead of like that mentality of go find it somewhere else on the internet, and or go put it on the wish list or the wish list from High Level, which by all means you should do as well. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Go talk to your developer partner, because they're going to want to turn it around. They're going to turn it around faster than High Level will, most probably. And straight away you're going to be able to implement something that's going to start earning you more revenue in your agency.
And how do we add things to the work or the wish list and whatnot? How's that work?
What, from High Level? It's the not the wish list. It's the canny link. Sorry, the ideas board. Sorry.
Oh, so where is
Go
it
High
at?
Level. I'm saying like you can go ahead and put your idea to the Go High Level idea board, but there are developers who are looking at that ideas board, making solutions based off the things that they're not doing, or will do maybe.
I
And
see.
I'm just saying, like, you can go to the wish list and put it there, and you might wait a handful of quarters,
Yeah.
or you might be able to get a result in a week if you go to one of the developers on the marketplace.
Got it. I see. Yeah, there's a
You
lot of
know,
ideas here,
just
man.
like
I just
go ahead and hire VAs and all that kind of stuff. You're just not having to handle it directly in the same way. You can get a product from a developer that you can then utilize, rebuild, resell, and it benefits everybody in the ecosystem for longevity into the ecosystem.
Yeah, so I would go into like, for example, I hope I'm following you right. Like even in the Level Up Marketplace, you have submit app ideas. Is that how I get access to like a
Yeah, you
developer?
can submit your app ideas to us like that if you'd like to. But also people schedule calls with us all the time. Like I said, my calendar is usually booked up with people who want to bring an integration or an application to the marketplace.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay, got it. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, like, I don't know what that would look like. That's a conversation for a later time. I want to respect your time and say thank you for hopping on. I think what you're doing is fantastic. I mean, you probably don't need me to tell you that, but like, I think if you all do crack the whole idea of creating a app to get all of the app platforms or like the most popular ones to be able to get their pixels and track stuff fast into this stuff, you are going to solve an hour long onboarding call that everyone has to deal with from a group setting or an individual setting that is causing, I mean, you could help people out with churn. You're going to help people get activated faster, especially with what's, the future to come. So,
I honestly like as a developer partner, like when I have to give honest feedback on like what apps we will make and what things you should really put onto High Level. because I know of the extensiveness of what you're asking about.
Yes. Yes.
You need to take that to high level, honestly. Like I'm saying, like you really want the actual result you want instead of like it would be a workaround most probably from an app from what
Yeah.
you're asking. That one is one you need to pick up with high level. I'll be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
I'd love to always do apps. Trust me,
Yeah.
but you know, I mean, at Level Up or myself, I don't want people to think that we're going to give you a solution just because you want a solution. Like we'll give you what is the best solution, not just you think it's going to shave a couple of minutes off for the amount of work that goes into it versus what you're going to receive out of it. And are you really going to utilize that versus is it something? Anyway, I want to make sure that people would go to the right place at least. If it's not an app that we could build, at least we're always going
High
to try and
level
think
app marketplace. Tell
you
them about
should
it.
go to high level for certain things. So
Yeah.
it's unreasonable for us to do stuff that really high level should do, and that kind of comes into they're going
That
to do
makes
it
sense
most
though. I
probably
mean,
from
you all are
thinking
partners and you
they're
want
going
to
to
do
do
right by
it.
your partner too.
They're going to do it, and as soon as they do it, it makes the app completely useless. It's a tough choice for the developer to also get involved with that ultimately. But for that app idea, I would definitely take it up the chain a bit with people at high level. Obviously, put that on the ideas board and try and get as many people as you can to vote for it because that's how they make their decisions.
Bet. You will see that probably in the next like day or so, easily for sure.
Sure, send it
But
over to me. I'll vote for it as well.
bet. Yes, facts. Because yeah, like that's I'm telling you, that's I don't even say anymore. Like having to deal with that platform with this stuff, good times. And then with
Yeah,
like insurance companies, financial companies, real estate companies in my sector, like that need leads for their people to fill their team. Like the faster the better, and people who aren't tech savvy can like do it fast.
definitely.
Cool,
Well, it's
man.
been
Well,
lovely. It's been lovely chatting with you today,
yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for hopping on here. I know we got to connect a little bit before all this, and it was a pleasure talking to you then. And we'll be sure to have you come back next time. All right. So, anyways, for those who are listening, thank you so much for taking the time. We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much.
see
And then
you.
just pause